Okay, the next item on the agenda, 49 Burtville Avenue, complaint of a zoning violation, discussion and possible action. Okay, this came before us. Everybody knows about it. Everybody's heard about it 15 different ways and 15. We had an application that was sent to probably everybody in town that there was a zoning violation at 49 Burtville Avenue. And I would defer to Drew because I have, does it still exist? Do we have a zoning violation, and how do we prevent it from starting up moving forward? And I'll ask that of Ryan and Barbara and Drew and anybody to chime in at any point in time. Because to me, it's okay to say, yeah, we have a violation. Yeah, we messed up and we're not doing that anymore. But if nothing's moved, nothing's emptied and stuff is still there, the violation could continue at any point in time. So what's to stop that? Since there is no zoning enforcement officer in town now, and it's us and our engineers on, what's to stop that and prevent that from happening?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Dave.
We received this complaint over a month ago.
Right.
Has the city conducted an investigation on this? And if so, I'd like to see the written report on that.
Mr. Chairman, Attorney Dominic Thomas represents the property owners here.
Yeah.
Once it was clarified to me what the report is, I requested a meeting. I met
with report?
The complaint, the anonymous complaint, the whatever it was, 2-paragraph anonymous complaint, which was given to me finally after about a month and a half. And I requested a meeting. I went to a meeting with the mayor.
Excuse me, attorney. I asked the chairman a question. If the city has conducted an investigation and if we have a written report. And I'd like an answer to that question.
Okay.
Before you go on with your...
I do not have a written report. If I had one, I would have forwarded it to the members.
Thank you.
So anyway, I was given what evidence they had. It was not a written report. It was pictures of photographs and other complaints that apparently had come in anonymously, I'm not sure, and they were from 2 years ago. I had informed the property owner, and that basically my investigation had revealed that the use, if you go down there, there's a lot of automobile repair uses, and I told them there's no use, no ability to have a use of a social club or anything like that. And the fact that if anybody was gathering there, or if it was being used to repair motorcycles, that would be okay. But I asked several times whether or not there was any complaint about it ongoing right now. And I was told that the only information they had was information that was 1 to 2 years ago. And that was it. And because I asked for all the evidence that was presented to the town zoning department or anything. And there was a folder there, and they showed me the folder. There was nothing current.
Okay, Dominic, before you go any further, I heard, and I have not seen, I have no pictures, but I have but I heard from numerous people that a couple of weeks ago, there was a big birthday bash held there, and it was publicized as a big birthday party there. I mean, I didn't know we repair motorcycles on birthday parties. I'm just trying to see that, okay, there's an issue here. If it was an issue before and it's cease and desisted, what were they giving a zoning letter of compliance for? What actually is supposed to be there? I don't have that data. I mean, what did our CEO give them in their application at 49 Burtville to use their space as? I don't have it. I don't know. If it's a motorcycle repair shop, where's their dealer license? Do they repair motorcycles? Do they have stuff, or is it really a clubhouse? I don't know. I'm just trying to find out what was it authorized to have, and what is it being used now? And because we have a zoning violation before us, whether it's anonymous or not, I don't care if the Pope signed it or nobody signed it. I don't care. We have a notation that, hey, there's a zoning violation, or we think there is. Who's going to address it? And it happens to be this commission right now. So I'd like to know what is it approved for? What's supposed to be there? And we'll go as far as saying, what does the lease say that's supposed to be there? I don't know. I don't know what is in our authority to go find all this stuff out so we can say, okay, you're supposed to have A. If you have anything other than A, you can't have it. I mean, that's a fair question, I think.
Correct.
Really is. It's a fair question to ask, and I'm surprised the property owner's not here. And if you're representing him, then you can speak to that.
Well, when this first came out, I immediately sent email, to the Corporation Counsel, to the administrative assistant, to everybody that I could, and said, I'm willing to sit down and discuss it and go over what the situation is, and I never heard back until... Okay.
I've asked that's all well and good, Dominic, but I've asked some very pointed questions right now. What is it, if there's zoning, they went to a zoning enforcement officer to get a zoning compliance letter, what is it authorized for? And I'm asking that as our city or anybody who can tell us, what is it authorized for to have there?
It's my understanding that there was a discussion, and this is only hearsay because I wasn't involved. There was a discussion on the use of it to have this group, the motorcycle group, be able to use the garage to meet and repair, work on their motorcycles and discuss with each other. The property down there had been a repair garage. There is no requirement in such a use that if the use was I was told was repairing it. There was consultation with, and Ryan is here, so I was told there was consultation with Ryan and Marjorie Shamsky, who was the attorney at the time. I have never seen anything.
But now the consultation is, what were they asked if it was okay to put there, and what was really put there might be two different things here, and that's what we're here to figure out. Correct. We're trying to figure out what was here.
A better question, Mr. Chairman, is what was previously there.
Right.
Attorney Thomas is referring to continuation of a repair shop. What repair shop was there prior?
That's why these are questions I'm asking.
And what evidence do you have that there was one? Because I know otherwise.
Okay. To the specific site, I do know that whole area is full of the whole area which was made a pre-existing.
I'm talking about this specific garage.
Forget that. A pre-existing non-conforming is one thing, but what's in the area is a general what's in the area. I don't buy that. What was allowed there before? What was pre-existing? What is allowed to be used there now?
The uses in the building, in the complex of buildings that are owned by my client, involve body shops, automotive repair, offices, warehousing. They were all made pre-existing legal, non-conforming uses by what I consider a really, well, I won't go with there, changing the zone over this area that included also the other property that is off of Chapel Street into a residential zone. And, but that's what was done. But the fact of the matter is the complex of buildings, the uses and the uses that are still down there are body shops, automotive repair. And so it doesn't make any difference whether it's in Bay A or Bay B because it's all owned by the same person.
Oh, yeah, yes, it does. Because if you're going to expand a automotive repair shop, you need to notify Department of Motor Vehicles of that. And you would also have to go before Planning and Zoning Commission to expand a non-conforming use. Okay. Two strikes against you on that. And plus, that particular building was never used for automotive repair, and you should know that.
Then I think that if there is a zoning violation, you ought to proceed, or if you want to continue to investigate it. I wrote immediately and got no response from anybody.
I want to investigate it because I don't know what's down there. And I don't think anybody on the commission really knows what's down there. And that's why I had thought that when that complaint was received and we postponed the July meeting, that an investigation was pursued. Now, Mr. Chairman, you have to assign somebody to conduct this investigation. I think the Corporation Counsel should be involved in it. and we'll go from there.
Dave, I tend to agree. It should be something taken on by the city to figure out what's going on
Well, it
there.
has to be.
Again, it's not the purpose of this commission. It's the purpose of this commission to determine whether there's a zoning violation, but without the facts, we can't determine that.
Right. I mean, I was just about to say, clearly what you need is evidence as to what was
Correct.
done previously, because there's disagreement about that. And then what is going on currently?
I totally agree. That's why I'm asking the questions.
You know, I would like to separate the two. The complaint was made, I think, in June of this year. What was happening there in June, and then we could proceed from there as to what's happening there now. Okay, but the complaint really goes back to June, and that's where the investigation, I think, needs to start. It could go back earlier than that, and I'm sure it'll go back to 2016 with letters from Attorney Shamsky, and in January of 2017 with a response by Ryan McEvoy to a question I was asked of him. But we really need to get some documentation on this before we can make any intelligent decision. Okay?
I tend to agree because we don't know.
Ted, would you, as chairman, would you consider a motion then to request that the Corporation Council and our city engineer conduct that investigation both into the complaint, into the current uses there and the past uses there, and bring a report back to the commission?
Absolutely. I'd second that motion. Absolutely. And continue it till continue this and keep it open until next month. Absolutely. Yeah, because I agree with Dave. I don't think we're well equipped to handle what's going on there. Okay. It's an anonymous complaint of a zoning violation. Well, what is that? You know, and we don't have typically what would happen in Dave, hold on one second. Typically what would happen in the past was we would send our zoning enforcement officer down there to investigate. We don't have one. So in lieu of that, would I like Corp Council and our city engineer, and Drew, you're here from the mayor's office, somebody from the city to go out and investigate all this and come back to us next month? Absolutely. I think we have to. Yeah. And as far as anything that Dominic's thrown out about what was zoned before and what's zoned now, if the property owner wants to sit down and have a discussion about what he plans to do with the property because he has a willing and able tenant, we'd be more than happy to sit down with anybody. We welcome that with open arms. We do it all the time. So that's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned.
If the property owner has evidence as to what was going on beforehand, we would like to.
Barbara, these are things that I'm asking. What was the lease signed for? What was photographs? Right.
Affidavits. You know, whatever is pertinent.
Right.
How about looking into the building department files for that property for documentary evidence?
Obviously, we would look into all of that.
Of course.
But
Mr. Chairman, you have a motion.
That might not tell the whole story.
Okay, there's been a motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, can you just
yes,
repeat,
Glenn.
Can you just repeat the motion? I lost in all the other peripheral discussions. I lost the context of the motion.
So,
go ahead, Steve.
The motion was to request that the corporation or the planning and zoning attorney and our engineering council consultant perform an investigation both into the complaint, into the existing uses in that building, and the past uses in that building, and present that to us as a report at the September meeting.
That's what I wanted.
And I seconded it.
That's what I wanted to understand. So in lieu of having a zoning enforcement do the investigation as would be normal practice, we are now asking Corporation Council and the city engineer to do such investigation.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I seconded it. Any discussion? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried.